Absolutely. You're nothing short of remarkable. Taking on the Underground's most crucial assignment, you've plunged headlong into the fiercest zones of conflict for both sides. After stirring the pot, you subtly redirected the chaos back towards your own client. Ultimately, you've broken the chains that have been choking you for so long. It's a delicate balancing act, but you've managed it well. No wonder you've been able to move so freely between Paradisos and the Underground for years.
Shalom turns to Clique, her smile tinged with kindness.
Seeing as you've severed all ties with the Underground, would you consider aligning with me?
Clique is taken aback, yet pleasantly surprised.
Really? Is it possible? Would you forgive me? Accept us? I can't go on pretending any longer.
In the blink of an eye, the Crimson Flora sword with the obsidian shield clash and recoil. Shalom remains unmoving, while Rahu has already positioned herself before her, deflecting Clique's assault with her shield.
It's this pathetic guard again. You had some spirit last time I saw you. What happened? Did my blade snuff out that spirit, turning you into her lapdog?
Technically, she should be able to beat Rahu because she is not a true S-class, so she's like made into her. But then again, she was also, they did mention that she also turned herself into an S-class, so who knows.
I still remember vividly what happened to her last lapdog. So, what's the deal with that airhead? Dead? Or just cried her eyes out? And people still buy into your nonsense after seeing that? What, did you brainwash them or something?
You sure live without a care, settling scores as if it's nothing. Most people wouldn't dare. They'd fear accumulating enemies, endangering those they care about. The steep price of revenge. What's your take? Does it not bother you? And what about your garden?
You're talking about the unending chain of hatred, aren't you? When will this cycle of vengeance ever break? Is your point to value those who stand before us now? I am the master of the garden, the head of assassin group. People seeking vengeance flock to me in droves, just as countless others beseech me to exact revenge on their behalf. And you're talking to me about hatred? Would you spare me your harassment because I am just and kind? No. The only reason you'd hesitate is the knowledge that crossing my path means certain death. This world has never been kind to us just because I tread carefully and abide by the rules. The only things that grant us the freedom to truly live are raw power and the principle of an eye for an eye.
The scroll that she got, but that's a powerful weapon, right? Will she be able to counter that?
Shall I teach you this lesson up close and personal?
My apologies. With your strength, you've certainly earned the right to act as you wish.
Reaching out, she catches petals falling amidst their fierce clash. There are the mania flowers crafted by Clique, Clique or whatever name is. Shalom appreciates their delicate beauty as she gently rubs them between her fingers.
Both Paradisos and the Underground fear your might and madness, dreading the day you'll come to collect their dues. As long as you're alive, neither your garden nor your blooms need to worry about being trampled. If I were you, I'd be more at ease, more reassured, just as you used to be. You've always struck a fine balance between the two. If so, why this sudden impatience? Both sides are on the brink of war, and yet, you've not only chosen not to sidestep the conflict, you've thrown yourself into it. You accepted a contract from the Underground to challenge the Paradisos, and now, you're turning their own blade back on them. It's as if you're determined to sever every tie that binds your garden, come what may.
Her gaze settles on Cook Leak. Take it in her impossibly youthful face and her eerily pale skin. It's as if time had stood still for her, frozen in some distant past. Shalom smiles, a knowing glint in her eyes.
Your extraordinary strength has been traded for your life, hasn't it? Just how many days do you have left, Mentor?
Atmosphere grows suddenly tense. Blake fixes her eyes on the hush of Paradisos. After a moment that feels like an eternity, she unsheathes her sword. This time, all levity has vanished.
Are you wishing for my death? How uncouth. I'll have you know, my days are numbered higher than yours.
Just a question. Is it that I hit the nail on the head?
Shalom laughs before she can even finish speaking. The white figure surges forward, crashing forcefully into Rahu's shield. Again, easy combat.
I remember Segal, the undergrounder. She was the only one who managed to consistently evade Hush during the whole chase. According to the reports, she's either mastered some kind of spatial powers, or she's tapped into the underground mania magic. That's your reward for taking on this mission, right? Once the mission's complete, she'll show you how to perfectly conceal the garden.
Feel free to guess, but even if you guessed it, you're incapable of deciphering the arcane arts of the underground. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been groping in the dark for years, failing to even locate the entrance. Losers.
You're right. Paradisos doesn't have the same mastery over mania as the underground, making it impossible for them to locate the garden. Besides, your blooms have all become experts at concealment. Within the finite life you have, you've gone to great lengths to pave their path. Mentor, you possess a finesse and a softer side that's even greater than you realize.
You make me sick. I only act in my own interest. I accepted this garden because they're good at serving me. It pleases me.
You're right. They do love you very much. Even more profoundly than you realize.
Oh, is she gonna use the girl as like bait? Hearing those words, colleagues get goosebumps all over. In an instant, her crystalline weapon, forged from the essence of countless fallen foes, is shattered by a piercing beam of blue light. Well, who guessed that? It's the Shroll. The attack comes from Shroll, whatever, glowing ominously adjacent to the sinner Shalom. It unfurls its form, gracefully floats in the battlefield's core. Rahu has retreated, lifting her shields to protect Shalom. Lake recalls the devastating potency of its assault against Mania. During the abduction episode, its unexpected celestial downpour obliterated an entire truck filled with underground Mania bombs. For the sinners, this entity is nothing short of Paradiso's man-made god of death. So what is the core made out of exactly? I mean, the Shroll, what exactly is it firing? It's clearly not firing Mania, it's doing some anti-Mania stuff. So did they find like matter, dark matter sort of stuff, like mania and anti-mania? Did they, discover anti-mania and that's what they're using? Your foresight was spot on. The underground has indeed nurtured a perilous sinner. It's no wonder that Paradisos has struggled to eradicate her for so long. However, vitality has been severely drained by mania. Her sluggish movements pose little threat. Eliminate her, X. For the sake of your mission, you must remove any chances of underground interference. Shalom looks beyond the god of death, fixing her gaze on the targeted colleague. Unwavering before Shroll, she has already unsheathed a new fold sword. She must have amassed a considerable power for this odyssey. You're all underestimating her. She is not indecisive. Her subconsciousness is actively seeking a way to cheat death. She aspires to meet her end elsewhere. But that won't work, Lake. Unless you unleash your full power, or your blossom will be crushed before it even blooms. Shalom clenches the petals in her hands and starts to speak softly.